They had barrels and barrels. I mean, just supplies for fucking days in what was supposed to be the living room and the garage. The living room, the garage, the kitchen, and their one bedroom, and obviously the bathrooms, were the only places not being used to grow. Everywhere else, wherever you went, I'll show you the pictures in the video, was just...
Fuck yeah. I was hoping you had those.
Yep, of course. Was just pure farmland. To put it into perspective, before I show you all this stuff, there was a notice on... I don't know if it was on the door or we found it inside, but it was kind of a notice, kind of an after the fact kind of thing, like saying, well, what they were charged with or what the police collected. It was just some sort of legal document, right?
This is the door today. This is the house 2 doors to the right.
Yes, the one that we actually went in. Anyway, we find this legal document of whatever stating what had happened here. The police confiscated 3,240 plants.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. It was legit as fuck. You would walk into that place and not even think that it was that it was even a home. It was a place of, I don't know, homeliness. It looked like a business. It looked like a scientific farm. They had totally turned this suburban house into a fucking scientific lab grow house.
The weird thing to me is that pot is legal, but they're apparently not going through legal channels.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's legal, but you need I'm pretty sure you need a medicinal license to grow it. I think recreational, you can have maybe 1 or 2 plants, something minimal, if that. But if you get your medical license, you can grow up to like 9 plants or so. And if you keep on building your medicinal license, like to commercial or whatever, and now especially that it's legalized, you can have so many plants. But obviously, these people were growing way more than they would have been allowed by the legal system.
Well, so just really quick. Bitch, I didn't want to call her a friend. This chick I used to know, her grandpa, they just had, her grandparents just had acres. Acres of land up in the mountains. And he was trying to get her college money. So he had like all the equipment and shit. And he just fucking carved out a little place in the acreage to grow pot.
Huh.
Legally, I don't know how much he did, but legally, and then he sold it to the dispensaries.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And Dallas even went there one summer to make extra money by just being part of a clipping team.
I mean, they need their help, especially for fucking acres worth. That's insane.
But the fact that these people got busted, I mean, there's better ways to do it. So yeah, they have efficiency, but they don't have the know-how. They're trying to do it in like a secret way, which I don't. I'm all for that. Probably less money they have to give to the government or whatever, however that works. They wouldn't have to pay taxes on it or whatever, but they keep getting busted.
They may not have the legal know-how, but they have the farming know-how. That was made very clear immediately walking in. But, before we ever got in, how did we do it? So it all began, my sister's telling me about this, like, oh, this house just here got busted and blah, blah. And then she's telling me the story about the other house in the other direction. And so she was saying, yeah, I didn't do anything about that other house, but I wish I had known I did, knowing that the owner or whatever, or whoever was working for the owner, or the real estate agent, whoever it was, didn't come for months. I easily could have done something about it. So she's telling me it's probably going to be another few months before they come back for this one. So we go And our plan is just to be a little snoopy. So we go into the backyard, and we're just looking through the windows and stuff, and we see in that one bedroom alone, the one that, anyway, like flat screen TVs and, you know, a whole bunch of clothes, and we realize, like, there's probably some stuff in there that we want, or that we could sell, or whatever. So there's bars on all of the windows and the doors on the first story. But there's really no way to get up to the second story inconspicuously. Those ones aren't barred, but like I said, no way to do it without catching attention.
Yeah, if people are breaking into their own house because they forgot their keys, they don't go to the second story.
Yeah, and everybody in the neighborhood watched this happen. The police raided it in broad daylight, and everybody was on their, you know, just watching along like it was a movie. Anyway.
Spectating.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing. All the bars were on the inside. That's not the weird part. All the bars were on the inside of the windows and the doors and whatnot, but the one set of bars that weren't was across the screen door in the back. So if you had the flat wall, the kind of like cage-like bars came out from the wall and then connected, and there was kind of a gateway with a lock. Yeah, very, very sturdy looking lock. And we were like just kind of like feeling around the bars, knocking around on them, and we realized, oh, these bars are hollow sounding.
So they're more for looks than anything.
Yeah, they're not like prison bars. I don't even know what you would describe them as. You know, it's no different than, you know, a gate that you might use for your front yard or some shit. The bars were very... I don't know what other to say than they were hollow. They were not prison bars. So she goes and gets her metal saw, and right where the lock latches close against this bar, we filed or sawed the part right above where the lock latches and right below it, so it had nothing to latch to. We rip out that piece of bar. It has nothing to latch to. Gate open. Screen door is unlocked. From there, we just walk inside. It was actually too easy.
I'm super fucking jealous right now.
It was too easy. Step up your game, coppers.
It's a real brother-sister quality time adventure right now.
Yeah, a bonding experience with my sister. And our niece totally knew that we were doing it too, so she was a tiny bit in on it to some very small extent. It was fun for the whole family is what I'm trying to get at.
Better than a board game.
Whoa,
What are we doing tonight, Pop? We're playing B&E, son.
B&E, breaking into the grow home. So we go in there, and it looked as if the place was raided while they were eating. There was still food on the table, and it was, gross. But we're just kind of making our way through there.
I didn't think it was gross. I thought I felt bad for him.
Right? Oh, didn't even get to have a last meal outside of prison. Yeah, but...
Hopefully they know karate, otherwise you're getting butt raped.
Well, obviously.
Butt raped.
They probably know butt karate. They do sphincter exercises. Sphincter Tai Chi. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
As a death grip, it rips your dick off.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, that's one way to prevent rape.
Holy fuck.
Spread the word. Anyway.
Spread.
Spread it like mayonnaise. Anyway.
Ew, dude. Gross.
I pretty much told you the gist of it, just like the layout of the building, how they set up partitions, how they put holes in the wall, all that. It was a very legit setup. I told you all of that.
I think for this particular podcast, I will, in the video, post the pictures, if that's cool with you.
Well, not of the actual house, obviously.
No, of the inside.
Oh, yeah.
If you're cool with it.
Yeah, we could do that.
And we still need to fucking come up with some kind of picture so I can start posting these fucking things.
Oh, right. Some sort of, brand logo or some shit.
Some shit, yeah.
Yeah, we will. I'll have to get on that. Anyway, so yeah, their bed. I mean, these people were not only efficient, but they were thrifty as fuck. I wonder if that just comes with being Chinese, but that's me just being ignorant. Their bed was very...
Was it made out of rice?
I wish it was that good. I wish. No, it was just... It was very obviously man-made, and by that I mean it was put together by the people who put on this operation. It was...
Quick question.
Yes, you'd in front.
Were the flat screens homemade? Were they man-made flat screens?
No, one was a Roku. They were the cheapest possible brand for a large screen, flat screen TV.
Damn it.
But no, they were not. I wish. I found a CCTV camera in there though, and I was like, yeah, the Chinese would have a camera. Anyway.
You only had one?
Only the one.
That's weird.
And they hadn't even got to set it up yet. That's where I felt bad. Like, oh man, they could have seen this coming. They didn't even finish their operation. Oh man. And it was very clear because all their supplies were still in the closet. I mean, it looked very set up as it was, but they clearly were going to do more work. Probably turn the living room also into it. Maybe even the garage. I don't know. There was just a lot of supplies around the place. But that may have been maybe they just bought too much supplies because they had the money. We actually found, and this is how we know for sure that the owner of the operation is in China. Like, he doesn't even live in America. He just has Chinese people probably get off the boat and start these operations for him around the place and like send the money back.
Get off the boat?
They're not coming by plane.
Do you think they're not Cubans? What the fuck?
Chinese people can come by boat?
China's a lot further away than Cuba. The whole expression...
I'm not saying a fucking raft.
Have you heard anybody called a fob?
No.
That's fresh off the boat.
Oh.
And it's not... Like, you can't go, hey, fob! Like, it's not a nice greeting. It's a derogatory term. But you're saying, I don't think Asian people come on boats.
Well,
and I would say maybe they go by train, but they probably don't use trains because they built the railroads.
And I don't think
I am a piece of shit.
Well, yeah, that's already been made clear. That was probably made clear within the first 10 minutes of the very first podcast.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm trying to set up a brand.
Yeah, this is all in the name of the brand. Yeah. Well, it was clearly an exaggeration.
They're fresh off the rice paddy.
Yeah, there you go. That's
made
probably
out of
more.
bamboo.
That's more appropriate.
Yeah.
More politically correct. Anyway, the owner. It was clear that he was from China and is like in China. Probably has operations all over China too. Probably all over the world. We found a wire transfer receipt from the Agricultural Bank of China, all in Chinese except for the numbers that said $112,000.
Damn it! I was hoping you found actual currency.
We did. Not that much though.
Damn it!
Yeah, they had probably spent it all or had it on them when they got arrested or something. They probably spent most of it. But we found only $300 of it worth.
That's still a lot.
Yeah.
To us. To me.
Yeah. And we split it 3 ways, obviously.
What do you mean 3 ways?
I got 100, my sister got 100, and I'm pretty sure she gave 100 to my niece to shut the fuck up.
I was gonna say to the husband, isn't he like?
No, the husband is very by the book. He's ex-military. He knows.
He's ex-military?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, to an extent. I don't think he ever went to Iraq, but yeah, he is ex-military. Anyway, he knows who my sister is. I mean, I would hope so. They're married and all.
Yeah.
He knows what my sister has done in all of her teenage years and all of her delinquencies and all that. He knows the type of person that my sister was and to a very small extent still is. But
She gets the opportunity, that is.
Well, they basically have this understanding where he's just like, I don't even want to know. Don't tell me anything because I don't want to be implicated, blah, blah, blah.
Plausible deniability.
Exactly. So he just doesn't want to know. So he doesn't know about any of this.
Surprise!
Whoa! The garage is actually her garage because she does a lot of woodwork and art stuff and
Really?
yeah.
I don't know your sister for shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Except for your mom's wedding.
She
Even then, I didn't know what the fuck she was.
Right. No, she does. I gave her a lot of shit about it. Actually, obviously I still do. I will to the end of days. She's more stereotypical man than me and her husband combined. Probably growing up with my dad, honestly, with how hands-on with like wood and welding and cars he always was. But yeah, she's a total artist. She does a lot of like glass etching and woodwork.
Dude,
and
that's fucking awesome.
yeah, and even does a little bit of metal work. So the garage is hers, and half the garage of their huge garage is devoted completely to her workstation and all of the storage associated with it. So it was actually very easy to hide all of our findings.
Well, it's also a garage.
Well, yeah.
Right now, if your mom and I were talking, I still couldn't find my fucking desktop.
No. It's lost in the abyss, dude. It's lost in there. If it's even still in there. I wouldn't even know. So I left all the big things with her. Pretty much obviously, I would think, because A, I'm not about to go out and try to sell all these things. B, I wouldn't be able to transport them all. I probably would have been able to fit maybe one flat screen TV in my fucking sports car. It has no space for transportation at all. For example, I was trying to bring back a really big poster of Marilyn Monroe with me that I got down there at a thrift shop. And that was so big, that was too big for my trunk, so I had to have it in the back seat, and I barely got it into there. It has no space.
You know, a good way to transport things, legitly, is to shove them in your vagina. Because you're a bitch. Get it? Because you're a bitch.
So you said, like, efficiently, you looked all, like, as if, we're actually going to get to a real technique here. No, it's because I'm a bitch. Which we all already understood. We're not...
You can put them in your booty hole.
This is dead air. We already knew all this.
Keister that shit.
Keister it. Well, I don't think I have the butthole to fit 2 flat screen TVs, an industrial size air conditioner, an industrial size dehumidifier, a fuck ton of industrial lightings, all of these wall fans.
I was kind of hoping that eventually you'd say industrial lube.
3 to 5 garbage bags full of clothes, shoes, and blankets.
Why would you take that anyway? It's all Asian clothes.
Somebody will buy it. She understands that better than anyone. She does a lot of like thrift shopping and swap meet stuff, so she knows better than anyone that people will buy this. She actually specifically told me, I'm like, I kind of asked the same thing about the shoes, not the clothes, but the shoes. I was like, man, a lot of these are pretty run down and fucked up. Who would want these shoes? And she's like, hey, some people will buy them specifically, and not being racist or anything, but you know, just for example, Latins will buy it and send them home to their families and shit like that.
Just so you know, the more you say not to be racist makes you sound racist. Just say what you're gonna fucking say.
Well, that's my whole point. I'm trying to get people to understand that I am truly a bigot. But now you've gone and made me have to explain myself. Good, thanks. So, yeah, I guess people...
I'm a bigot against stupidity. You can be black, white, Asian, purple, green, blurple. I don't give a shit. Just don't be a fucking stupid asshole. You're good.
I am a bigot against white people, if anything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's like, I'm already bigot against white people. But if you're stupid, too, like, you're fucked.
Oh, yeah, you're fucked in my mind. Absolutely. Well,
I will stick a Marilyn Monroe-sized poster up your asshole.
And hope to God I could wash it off. It is a really great poster. Just saying. Anyway, yeah, we got a fuck ton of stuff. Me personally, also, like, we got tools and, I don't know, just a bunch of little things that she thought she could sell, or she would find use for. I know somebody who's actually been needing a fan. I'll grab one extra. Things like that. Me personally, I went half into klepto mode, grabbing a bunch of stupid shit that does not matter to me at all.
Yeah.
And the other
it's
half,
free.
yeah. And the other half, I went just actual, like, practical. I went practical about it. Like,
It's hard to be practical in a frenzy.
I stole a fucking spaghetti pot because I don't have one. I took a egg whisk because I don't have one. I took a spatula, and everybody's thinking, this is the most boring B&E ever. Like, what the fuck were you thinking? Yeah, I just took a bunch of kitchen utensils and pots and pans.
Dude, fuck that. That's how I used to steal shit. I used to steal Kool-Aid pack from my friends when I ran out. You're good.
As long as it's free, I mean, who can argue with free?
Especially if you need it.
Yeah, exactly. I got this bitchin' ass new backpack because I've needed a new backpack. I got a duffel bag because I've needed some sort of actual luggage thing for when I travel.
Bag.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have a suitcase or a duffel bag or anything, so I saw the duffel bag. I'm like, fucking finally, I can actually like pack my luggage.
Smuggle babies.
As it's supposed. Well, yeah. Obviously, and have somewhere to put all my chopped up body parts for when I'm dumping it in the lake.
Because you definitely can't put them in the trunk of your car.
No, but I can fit them into a duffel bag in my back seat.
And you can drag them from the back of your car.
Yeah. But I did take...
I wonder if anybody's ever, like, chopped up a body, and then they didn't have room or something, or they did that whole absent-minded thing, like, you know, people put soda on the top of the car. But instead of they put a head up there, they were meaning to take it off and put it in the passenger seat, and they drove off with the head rolling off their car.
Oh man, I wonder if anybody's that nonchalant of a murderer. That would be fucking great. They wouldn't last long.
If they aren't, we're definitely making a movie about it.
Yes, the new Dexter. I took some like tools that I needed. Like I took a box cutters. I took a bunch of extension cords.
You took a box cutter? Are you planning on hijacking a plane?
I don't have a box cutter, so I took one. I took a file because I need a file. Oh,
what the fuck? What do you need a file for? Your nails, Nancy?
I like a really big, like an actual file, so I can do B&Es in the future. I took. Here's the weirdest thing. Okay, actually, before I get to that, I took 3 cartons full of Chinese cigarettes. I don't smoke, but I thought, hey, Jared might like these. And also, it's just a cool trophy to grab.
Okay, it's not a trophy if you got 3 fucking cartons.
I don't fucking care. It was a fucking trophy to me. I was in klepto mode.
If you grabbed one, like, little pack, that's a trophy. Not 3 fucking cases.
I didn't know how many people would want Chinese cigarettes. Also, it could have kept Jared fueled for whoever knows how fucking long. I don't know. Anyway,
Jared smokes?
He used to. I got home and I showed him the carton because by that time I had gotten rid of the other 2. I was like, I don't need all 3. I just brought back 1. And he was like, yeah, I don't smoke anymore. I was like, oh, okay, anyway. I just tossed him into the garbage. Well, fuck it then.
You piece of shit. I would like to see them at least. I would have smoked one.
Well, too late. I took...
This story blows.
Because you keep interrupting it, you fucking asshole. Shut the fuck up. I took an authentic Chinese switchblade. I got...
What?
I don't have that with me, but I do have my officially...
No fucking way.
Authentic...
Did you find that?
Chinese butterfly knives.
You're a piece of shit.
And it's not the cheap Americanized kind that I found at that spy shop on fucking South Virginia, Reno, Nevada. No, these are actual, like, fucking legit.
I no longer feel bad about interrupting you. Can you turn that light on, please?